always presented a challenge to man. Many secrets remain locked in space, secrets that have puzzled men for centuries. The search for knowledge about space is underway.
Welcome to Six Set Bro, a misguided adventure through the social fringe of the music industry. I am your guide, indie musician, co-founder of Your Spaceship Music Collective, Dom Maple, and I am joined by my big brother, the other co-founder of Your Spaceship, Michael Edgerwood.
That's me.
And my best pal in the fucking world,
the guy that hangs around. I'm the dude that hangs around and just goes...
Just here sometimes. Hey, you're like a long-time podcaster for this channel, so live up to the hype, Andy. And we're back again, guys. It's good. It's like the second episode of the second season. All the twos, all the number twos.
All the deuces. Deuce.
Speaking of number twos,
Nice transition.
I do have a story that I want to tell you guys that I've been saving to tell you on the podcast because I thought it was kind of funny and it was super embarrassing, and I thought everybody should hear this. But so I was out somewhere and I went to use a public restroom, right?
Did you shake yourself, eh?
No, but also no good story starts with this, I don't think. But I went to use the public potty, and I went in, and the floors were like completely flooded, right? Like I don't know what happened.
Are you gonna out this? Where is this public restroom?
You don't need to know that.
Okay.
I
Confidential.
don't want to slam any place, okay? But and also I can't show my face back there anymore. But I go in and the whole floor is flooded because I guess one of the toilets is clogged. So I go to use the urinal, and there's so much water on the floor that I'm like, I have to do a kind of a weird stance to use the urinal. There's kind of like a ledge to the side of me, and I'm like, I'll hoist one leg up, like take a knee on the ledge, and then 1 foot on the ground to avoid the water. So I'm kind of like,
that's a precarious.
It is
balancing act.
Okay, and I was super worried that I get caught peeing in this strange way. So I was really nervous that someone's gonna walk in. But you know what? Nobody did, and it was absolutely fine. So I go to wash my hands. I'm like, got away with that one. And I turned around, and then some guy's just standing there who I guess is coming in to use the restroom next. But he just locks eyes with me. He obviously sees the floor flooded. And I said literally the worst thing that I could have said at this point. It wasn't me.
That wasn't...
That's all I said.
He's like, yeah.
I bet it was.
That's all I said. I could have broke the ice a little better and been like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but all I did was look this man dead in his eyeballs and went, it wasn't me. Which definitely implies
Believable.
Definitely implies that it was me, and now I can't go back to McDonald's. I want to kick off this episode by talking about a new record that's out, and it is splitting a lot of people around the globe. And I don't really want to just talk about this record specifically. I kind of want to get into a whole topic about a lot of bands from the era, okay? And the album I'm talking about is the new Blink-182 record, 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of people's perception of it. I'm gonna say this before we even go any further. I actually kind of like it.
Yeah?
I kind of like it a lot.
Is it that you have to like it?
No.
Because you're a fan?
You definitely don't have to like it, because I have been a lifelong fan. And yeah, I'm not gonna say that I dislike it. I'm gonna say that so far it's been one and done for me. I listened to it. I was actually joking around. I think I said to Martin and Surf Green, is like, if I just don't listen to it, then I can pretend it didn't actually happen and it's not part of their discography.
Well, let me just crack open a Pepsi Max and let's get into this. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean, sorry. Finish your thought.
I was just gonna say that I haven't listened enough to have a fully formed opinion of it, but it was kind of like one of those I listened the whole way through once, and it's like I'm not gonna rush to come back to that.
Yeah, I mean, all these singles have been dropping from it. Like they released a lot of stuff on the lead up to the album, and I was really not into it because I didn't like the last record, California. I tried so hard to like it. I listened to it on repeat like constantly, and I just couldn't get into it. Like there was a couple of moments on it where I'm like, it's okay, but overall, just an awful album for me. Just literally the worst one they've ever done was California. So expectations were super low. Don't get me wrong, and obviously I'm like a lifelong Blink fan. That doesn't mean that everything they do is just perfect in my eyes. You know, there's some people that do that, and I guess that is part of my question with this, because I don't know. I don't know whether people are just completely turning on it for the wrong reasons. And I'll tell you about my experience listening to it, okay? So, you know, I heard the singles, not impressed. They released that video for Dark Side. Jesus Christ.
It's what we were talking about last week, where just wanting to be relevant, and
that's what Fall Out Boy have done with their meme-worthy video.
Yeah.
Just Jesus Christ, you know, why? And there's a lot of fans, these blinded fans who are trying to defend them and be like, oh, they're trolling you. And I'm like, well, it's not working, because I don't find it funny in any way. I don't find it funny if it's serious, and I don't find it funny if it's a joke. Yeah. It just seems bad and not them. So, you know, I'm like, I'm not expecting anything from this record after so much hype of it being the sort of the spiritual sister album to the Untitled record, which is like one of my favorite albums. And I stayed up till midnight anyway to listen to it because, you know, Blink fan, so you know, you got to. So I stayed up, and then I put it on whenever it released at midnight, and I listened to First Time. And without overanalyzing it, all I can say is that I listened to the first time and I was just smiling. I don't know, it made me happy. And then whenever I was listening through the record, there's definitely bad moments. I'll get into that later. But I started hearing the songs that they released in a different way for some reason. I think it's just because I kind of let go of the prejudice that I had over
what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Or your idea of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and I think that was holding me back a lot. It's like I forgot why I even enjoyed the band in the first place, you know? And I'm not saying, it's not like it's a return to form. It's still completely different. Yeah. And it has a lot of issues, but it's not really the issues that I see other people complaining about. I actually think the songs are pretty good for the most part. Really hate Runaway and Black Rain. Scrap them, throw them away. Let's get rid of them out of the record altogether so we never have to hear those again. But everything else, actually, like, I can't believe that I'm really loving Blame It On My Youth. I just fucking hated that song when it came out, and then all of a sudden I'm like, this is a jam for me now.
Yeah.
But I think I just kind of let go of trying to see them as Blink-182 anymore, which is kind of the problem that I had in the first place, is that I never thought they should have continued with the name.
Yeah. So it wasn't part of that discography, and then you wouldn't, I suppose people wouldn't really care so much about because they wouldn't be making the comparison,
they wouldn't,
the direct comparison, because you're comparing it to previous albums. Whereas if it was a different project name, like if they'd done the Plus 44 thing, then it would be like, well, you can make the Blink comparisons, but at the same time, it's meant to be a different band anyway, so you can't say that much.
Well, like, you know, the thing that I keep telling people is I feel like everyone jumps on the boat of, you know, it's Matt Skiba's fault from, you know, it's just not the same since Tom left. It's either the departure of Tom or the joining of Matt Skiba that has ruined Blink-182, and it's really not. It's a
lot of changes really about the way they go about things.
And in my opinion, it's never been the same after the death of Jerry Finn, who was their longtime producer since Enema of the State, and he just, like, if you get a chance, go on Wikipedia, look up Jerry Finn and look at all the songs that man produced, because they're all of that era. He's the guy that could capture that sort of pop punk sound that you
turning out the hits.
It sounded so good, and man, did everyone probably take that for granted a little bit, because now that we're hearing John Feldman try and produce these records for them, it's just woeful. For anybody that doesn't know, Jerry Finn died after the Untitled record, which is Blink went on hiatus after that and essentially split up until they got back together over. It was kind of a combination of Jerry dying and Travis's plane crash, and then they decided to put differences aside and try and record again. But that Neighborhoods record, they self-produced.
There's actually a song on that record about
Kaleidoscope.
Trying to do it without him there to guide them.
That song's all about trying to self-produce, do it without Jerry. And I think it was engineered by Critter, who actually passed away after that. I didn't know that. No. He was the sound engineer for Angels and Airwaves' first and second record, maybe. I don't know if he went much further than that, but he passed away after Neighborhoods as well. And Neighborhoods sounded okay for the best part, but it's still, a lot of people thought it sounded weird and it was a bit of a mess.
Right?
And I'm like,
I'm completely okay with that record.
I'm okay with it too. I actually quite like Neighborhoods. Well, I really like Neighborhoods, I would say. But I think that comes down to the producer and obviously a different engineer. And then John Feldman, I'm sorry to the guy. I don't want to completely slam him and hate on him here, but I don't know what he's doing on the thing.
Yeah.
Everything is ridiculously overcompressed. The vocal processing, I don't understand whatsoever. If there's any listeners here who are maybe not musicians or haven't exactly been in the studio and seen what pitch correcting looks like, it's not just fucking T-Pain style auto-tune. I feel like people...
Crazy. The first time that I seen it, when we went into the studio to record B-Button stuff, it just scared me how ridiculous you can... We talked to you about this before, Andy, about basically you sing something and it pops up all the notes that you hit on a grid, and all you have to do is click and drag a box up, and your voice will just go
matches there. It's a bit scary,
and it just locks in. And then whenever you get really extreme, sort of the rap auto tune stuff, it's whenever they go crazy with that. But if you do it really subtly, you can pitch correct stuff and people just might not even notice.
I think it's what a lot of casual listeners don't realize is that there is an industry standard of it. So they think auto tune is automatically, whenever it's used as aesthetic, as an effect. Yeah. It's there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. People like Bon Iver or Kanye West or, anybody that, that overly does it. It's all over hip hop. That's an effect. That's an aesthetic. That's fine. It's used in almost every song. I don't care how good a singer you are, but now that it's an industry standard for you to listen to any song on your car radio and people can be pitch perfect and you don't even realize, people who are releasing songs that aren't going through these types of programs, it's noticeable, and people don't think they're as good a singer, or it doesn't sound professional. And I'm not saying, I'm not exactly condoning this. I feel like it's kind of a necessary evil at this point, because we've become too accustomed to perfect.
That's it. Everybody's the casual listener's ears tuned to that now, and if you step out of that boundary, then they're not going to give you the time of day, basically.
But I'm getting away from it and talking about this. The point is that for the most part, a good engineer will be able to do that without you catching on suddenly, that there's any vocal processing happening. Mm-hmm. But it's so audible on Blink's new record, and that kills a vibe for you, definitely. These guys aren't the greatest singers. They never were. Let's go back to the early records. They can never sing live anyway.
That was part of the charm of it, really.
It was that they were shit, and we were shit, so we could be as good as them potentially one day. That was the promise of Blink-182. That's why I fell in love with them. And on this album, there's just so many moments where I can hear artifacts left over from these programs. There's specifically a line that I can remember off the top of my head every time I hear it in Dark Side, where Mark Hoppus says, it makes my mouth taste like medicine, and he says mouth, and it's what? I can hear
it going.
I can hear it happen, and it's at several points on the album you can hear this. And just overall, the vocals they've been so overproduced, it's shocking. And it doesn't need to be like that. Like the whole record is, it's just too much. It's just overproduced.
Again, I think it's like the way you were explaining there, like it's not just a change in personnel or whatever. It's a complete change in the way that they go about things. And I think, I don't know if this is what he's going for or not, but like Feldman is trying to put them, there was pop and there was punk and they were somewhere in between that line, and he's trying to really hit home with the pop side, and that's the market that they're aiming for more so than the punk side of it.
Yeah.
And therefore it is like, I mean, that's just pop all over, is like overproduced vocals. But
you know what's crazy though is that like I wish I had more time that I could have researched some figures for this, but I looked up some rough estimates or whatever. You know, if you take a minute to look at it from the side of the likes of Mark Hoppus, you know, whenever it comes down to their records and what was successful, Untitled was actually quite mixed reviews whenever you go back. It's crazy to think, I'll always think that's the best thing they ever did. But
it was so experimental and stuff as well.
A lot of people say Enema State is the best album, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket is second best, and Untitled's like third. And I was like, well, it's always top for me, and then like Enema's second maybe. But see, everything after that, they went through all that shit to reform. I mean, like, I'm not going to tell you the history of Blink-182. I could, but I'm not going to. That's a different show. I don't have time for. But they completely fell apart. They weren't talking to each other.
Was it after Untitled, where they were recording from like London? One was in California, one was in...
Yeah, that was for Neighborhoods. That's what I was going to say, is like the only reason they got together is because Travis almost died.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and it was kind of like, we're being stupid here. But then whenever they got back together, it was like the same issues. And it mostly came down to, you know, Mark and Travis still wanting tour life and to power on with Blink-182 100%, like 24/7, whereas Tom
wanted to do it as and when, along with
in between his
interesting projects that he had going on.
Well, the thing is, whenever it comes down to it, the whole reason they split in the first place was actually that he didn't have enough time to spend with his family, in his opinion. And whenever he wanted half a year off, they thought that was ridiculous. And I was like, well, that's kind of crazy. Like, but you know, whatever. I'm not in the middle. I don't know what really happened. But because he seems unreasonable. There was a point during Neighborhoods in the recording where Tom apparently left the band for like 2 days and then rejoined. So Neighborhoods was a fucking
nightmare.
Yeah, nightmare to record because, you know, they were recording from 2 different locations. It was like LA and San Diego, I'm pretty sure. And that was so hard to get made. And they finally finished it, and it didn't even do very well.
Yeah.
You know? California, whenever they came back with Skiba, best album since Enema of the State.
Yeah.
Like, as in album sales and things. And I'm like,
well,
what message does that send to the band? You know
exactly
what I mean?
what I talked to you about, is the worry that said this like just as that record came out, the worry that that's gonna do really well, and that's gonna solidify in their minds that this is the way to go. This is what we should be doing.
Well, it kind of brings me to my overarching question from the whole point of talking about this, which is, whenever it comes to things like that, first of all, can we really be mad at them because they're trying to straddle some sort of crazy line between what we liked growing up, because we're fans of that band whenever we were kids, but now these guys are still trying to make music for kids. And for the most part, it actually seems to be working. Like, I mean, if you look at stuff like, I don't know, like Anthony Fantano, right? He fucking slammed that record.
Yeah, he didn't.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you look at critical reviews of this, mostly positive so far. You get the odd one where people just can't deal with the fact that the production on the record is bad. Like, I will definitely give it that. And they can't deal with the fact that they're singing songs that they just don't think like 50-year-old men should be singing, you know what I mean? And I kind of get that too. Like, it's kind of hard to get past
and
it.
He listens to it with a very, very critical ear.
Dude, it was going to be my point about Anthony Fantano for Blink-182. I don't care what you think of the guy. Like, I watch all the Needle Drop review videos and stuff, but the mere fact he started that video by saying that this is like after the departure of long-term bassist Tom DeLonge, I was like, he's not he's not really a fan of the band and he doesn't care all that much. Everyone can make mistakes. I'm not saying that. It's just like you can tell it's whatever.
That's why when I was watching it yesterday, I sent you the picture going, oh dear.
Yeah, I knew. I mean, I knew them. It wouldn't have mattered if I hadn't heard the singles off the record. I was like, there's no way that guy's ever going to like it. No. There's no way. It's not his
He's
style.
already went a certain way with it before he even...
He's got an eclectic taste, but it's not going to be a Blink-182 record that he enjoys.
No.
But what I was going to say is, do you lose respect for these bands? I mean, there's a lot of... It's kind of weird whenever you look at the lineup of bands coming out with records at the minute. There's Blink-182 released 9. Green Day seems to be releasing a new thing. Fall Out Boy. Korn just released a new record.
Yeah.
The Darkness are releasing a new one. Jimmy Eat World just brought out a new single. And Weezer. It's like, what year is it?
I know.
What's going on?
Well, the thing is, it's a fresh... Because when Blink-182 and stuff were making them take off your pants and jacket and all that stuff, the streaming era wasn't a thing yet. So I feel like they're trying to make music to boost through streams.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, short, catchy
songs, just very stream friendly.
True.
Was this a quick recorded album? Like, when did they start?
Not really. I mean, they've been talking about it for a while. I didn't actually check what the recording dates were, but because Tom's not in the band, it's actually quite a normal band recording schedule where they say they're going to go into the studio for several months and then they do it and they actually make the album.
I'm wondering if any of the vocal stuff is because they wanted to rush it out.
No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. I actually thought it was going to be out sooner than this, but it did all seem to go to plan for time-wise. But I just, we were talking last episode about, like Green Day. They brought out this new song, and I feel a lot of people are slamming them because it doesn't sound like Green Day, but they're kind of going out of their comfort zone. There's a whole fan theory about how this album is fake. Have you heard this?
No. Wow.
People are crazy.
Fake albums?
I mean, I personally think it's a load of balls, but okay. People think that apparently Green Day have one more album to do with their current record label.
Oh yeah, like I've heard people say this about other people before. So
well, it's because Billy Joe has talked about he's actually really excited to go independent. You know, and they'll be an indie band, which is
that's
weird.
Crazy. Like,
funny for
how
Green Day.
old are those guys?
Yeah,
and it's taken them this long.
See, but that's the thing. I think that links with the streaming era again.
Yeah,
you don't have to be part of a massive because
you don't need a label anymore.
You really don't, because that's
Yeah.
what they were talking about on the Rogan podcast, the Black Keys.
Oh yeah,
They were talking
Patrick
about that.
Kearney's been behind that for a long time.
He's like, he just wants to push because you need like distribution and all that stuff, but you can put everything out digitally if you want.
Yeah, it's sort of like if you can build the fan base first.
Yes,
like,
that's the thing.
And then you become good at everything else, which almost every band in the world is expected to do now. If you want to be successful, you can't just be good at music. You got to be good at everything.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what the fuck I'm doing. I'm making a fucking podcast about music. Like, just so you know what I look like. I make songs, by the way. Cool. Go listen to them. It's like the last thing that people will do. It's like they'll know my name. It was like, oh yeah, it's Don Mabel guy.
They'll all be interested.
He does a podcast. You ever heard one of his songs? No. Didn't know he made songs.
All the interest is there.
But I just don't. It's just funny if I rattle quickly through some of these bands. It's like Green Day seem to be doing a different thing. Whether or not it is a fake album, who the fuck knows?
Are you feeding into the conspiracy here? Are you?
Who knows, guys? It is a very short record. No, I'm not gonna.
Streaming.
They have made it the exact amount of minutes that an album has to be to qualify for an album. Suspicious.
There you go. Streaming.
But
Streaming.
they're trying something new by the sound of it, but not too far from I would argue not too far from what Green Day was. Whereas Fall Out Boy at a certain point just became an entirely different unit.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie to people. Like, there's some people who just thought it was completely uncool to like Fall Out Boy, but I was a big fan right up until
I did like the early records as well. Yeah.
It was just until they started like completely going pop mainstream. I think it was there's a record they released that song with like 2 Chainz or something on it, and it was that first song came out, and I was just like, what even is this? Like, it's not the band that I knew.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, well, hear how this goes. Like this experimentation,
chance,
they
yeah.
just went down that road too far, and it's just not my type of music anymore. Korn have always been Korn, so let's pass by them.
Yeah, they're unique.
The Darkness actually tried to do something kind of different. They tried to do this.
Sorry,
like,
just to backtrack, they did do they have experimented with stuff, but they've done a dubsteppy electronical album, tried to mix in guitars and his like DJ thing. They done that. Then they went super rock, almost too new metal heavy. Then they pinned it back again. God, Chord's one of them.
I feel they've always been good though at having a voice. That's what I mean. Is like it's always been Korn though. You know what I mean? I've never felt like, oh, this is just not them. Or it doesn't sit well on them.
They're never gonna jar their core fan
No,
base.
they've
Like,
always
are they?
stamped. They've always made the stamp.
Yeah.
That's why I think they're actually really good at what
But
they
again,
do.
it's one of them things where if just say Jonathan Davis was to leave, he's the voice of it. They've been their original drummer left, the guitarist Brian Head Welch left and came back, but they never lost their sound. So they had to do 3 albums with one guitarist, but they done everything in studio, and then they done like keys and stuff. But they always managed to keep that sound. But I think it's because of Jonathan Davis was the glue that held that sound together.
Oh yeah, I mean, without his vocal, you're done. It ain't Korn no more. I'm sorry.
So,
but I mean, a contrast to that is a band like Weezer who have experimented to no end to do completely different styles. And I mean, there's some people that are all right, but I feel they just constantly alienate the fan base because it's like they don't even know what to do. Like I feel they've always lost their voice, like since early on.
Yeah.
The stuff doesn't even sound like Weezer anymore. It just sounds like he's desperately trying to sound like something else. And
the crazy thing, I suppose you're getting onto this as well. Like, but the crazy thing for me is, like, I'm not. Again, I like what I said earlier. I'm not gonna go out of my way to sit down and like re-listen to these records. Like maybe give it a chance or whatever. But at the same time, and again, it's been a while since I've seen them live. But if you see those guys live still, I mean, the live show is still fucking amazing.
Oh yeah,
it's so entertaining and stuff.
Probably still convince you to come back to Weezer.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
You know?
But yeah, I don't know if it's not where I get my kicks musics wise anymore. Like, but
could be
those older bands. I don't know. I just don't, because you're trying to listen to so much music and we're constantly consuming stuff.
Yeah.
I just find myself not making as much time for those bands anymore because there's other things that's really sort of, gets me excited about.
I agree. And we're all going to grow as listeners. I guess the only point I would try and put it out to everyone who is listening to these bands is I think it's the best thing you can do is try and listen to them with no prejudice against them just for the sake of prejudice.
This was my old band and I still expect them to be my old band sort of thing.
Because it's not going to happen, and I just don't I don't think it's fair. Like, they don't need any defense from me. I mean, they're all still like making bank, but you know what I mean? It's like I for some reason only came to terms with that album. I was so ready to completely hate it, and then I've been playing it every day. This is the Blink album, sorry.
Yeah.
I've been playing it literally every day. If anyone's looked at my Spotify thing, it'll probably be like my top album next year or something. And I just didn't expect that to happen. And it's just because I kind of let go of the whole. In my head, I was like, whenever you were a kid, you probably would have absolutely loved Matt Skiba and Mark Hoppus and Travis Barker to form a super group.
I remember when it was announced, everybody was like, oh, this is the only person that could do it. This is the only way that Blink can continue to work. And, it's weird the way you were talking earlier about so many other things being replaced and stuff. And I suppose like the analogy would be like if you had like a massive hit of a TV show on your hands or whatever, and it's like they want to push out that second season, but all the writers have dropped off, so they replace those. The main showrunners not there anymore or whatever, and then they get in like half-assed fucking directors and stuff. So I was like, yeah, you still get the same show next season, but
not
there
quite.
Seems to be something missing from it.
You know it's wrong, and I think that's all it comes down to. The very last point I'll make on this before I move on, I've probably spent way too long on it anyway. if you just want to shock yourself, this is probably the main thing that's changed with Blink-182 over the years. Jump on your Google machines or your Wikipedia machines and check the writing credits on the new record versus the writing credits on anything before Untitled. And
the length of your arm.
It will shock you.
Yeah.
They wrote everything themselves before. Yeah. Everything. And, you know, this new record is just like multiple songwriters on everything. And I'm just like...
And what you're saying earlier about like the likes of Korn not losing their voice and stuff, because it is their voice that's still coming through.
Whereas done everything.
Yeah, it's no longer those three guys' voices that are on that record.
Unfortunately,
if they were in the hip hop community, they'd be getting dissed for ghostwriting.
Yeah, totally different things, man. Totally different. You can totally ghostwrite in pop and rock, but yeah, hip hop, you're fucking dead.
Oh, yeah. Kendrick wrote for Dre, so there you go.
Don't tell people.
Here, Drake's managed to do all right. Let's not talk about our fellow Canadian.
We don't know what's true and what's not true, people. It's all whispers. Okay, Culture Night 2019. We were there. Culture Day and Culture Night. We weren't at both of them, I'm not gonna lie. We were at one of those. Yeah, we had a good time. We all went together. Me and Andy went up earlier in the day, and to be honest, we couldn't see a lot at the very start.
A bit light on the ground.
It was very.
It felt it. We went to the stage at City Hall, but we had this very bad luck of like showing up at stages while they were sound checking.
Everyone just like 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Like,
this is like a really weird culture day.
Because we went to City Hall and they were like, we went over and I don't even know who was playing because like I had the app and I kept losing track of who was on where because all the times it kind of changed a little like they do at these events. Nothing runs on time. So we got to the first one and there was like a country type band starting up and we heard a banjo and like, hey, here we go. Here's some banjo. And it was just like, chick. And I was like, oh, wait, they must be starting up. And then we waited there for like 30 minutes.
It's taking too long. Yeah.
And then everyone went off stage and I'm like, well, I guess they're not starting anytime soon. So we'll go somewhere else. And we went to another stage, like way off. And we went there and they were sound checking too. And it was just like, it just seemed to keep happening. I was like, insane. Let's just go get food somewhere. Yeah. So that's what we did. And then obviously from like 6 o'clock onwards,
that's you probably started seeing stuff whenever I started seeing stuff. Yeah.
Well, we did have a nice little quiet orchestra.
Oh yeah, we went to OES Center to watch the youth orchestra.
Yeah. That was earlier on. Yeah.
Which I mean, it was really nice. Yeah. But I mean, I did feel like a bit weird just because like. It was all the kids' parents that came to watch them at the thing.
And you guys.
Just me and Stuart at the back, 2 beers. Just
two beers.
This is nice.
Just absorbing some culture with your beers.
Prams and shit.
Which one's yours?
Little Jimmy.
I just came here for the music, buddy. Just came here for the music. Just a music lover on a music day.
It's good, though.
Yeah, that was the only thing we watched during the day, and then it wasn't until like later on things kicked off, and then it's like there was too much at one time. Yeah. We went to see. Let me try and remember the list now.
Sorry, because it was mad. Because the last time I went, which was 2 years ago, round about that time we were going, like Jordan Adetanji was performing on stage, and all that stuff was going on. Exactly. Obviously, because it's split over 2 nights, but
because you're going to get into when it kicked off and it was good, which. For the sake of listeners, is whenever I joined you and we got watching it. So for all purposes, we were all together from this point on.
From this point,
yeah. But my experience up until that point as well was me and Jade got down not as early as you guys, but slightly earlier, and I kind of found the same thing that I went over to where we seen Jordan Adetunji. Was it last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, at Boy Park there, and. That was kind of like, there was a lot of interesting stuff going on that year at that spot, and it seemed like it was the place to be. But this is always the thing with Culture Day, Culture Night, whatever. It's like, what was cool last year, the spot that was cool last year is not necessarily going to be the cool spot this year. Because me and Jade grabbed something to eat quickly, and we sat down at Boy Park thinking, right, we'll catch something that's cool here, maybe something that we hadn't heard of before or whatever. But it was kind of just like cover music a lot of the time.
Yeah.
and I just got bored with it and finished our food, and then we went round and we started at White's Tavern.
White's
which is where
Tavern
Tavern.
is where the night
we met you guys.
kicked off, and it was really good. Yeah, we got there earlier. We went there to see Eva, and yeah, it was really cool because White's Tavern is not usually a venue if you've never been there before. It's like such a cozy little bar. It's like the oldest tavern or something in Northern Ireland. Is that right? Or in Belfast, maybe? Oldest tavern in Belfast.
Yeah, it's got that tagline. Yeah,
but it's so nice inside. It's just so cozy, and there's like a fire, and it's super cool. But you would never. I didn't understand where they were gonna put stuff, but there's sort of like a little courtyard outside, and I mean it was cramped.
It was,
but it was
a cool atmosphere to play in. Like,
well, the stage was this table.
Yeah. The stage was very small. Because I bumped into Ethan Hanna, who was playing the next day.
Yeah.
So he had just finished work, and I happened to see him. He came down to watch Eva as well, and he was like, "I'm just scoping out to see what it's like, but I don't know how we're gonna do this tomorrow because I have like a full band lineup."
Fuck, are we all fitting up?
Yeah,
but after, did you see the videos of the next day? It makes sense. I feel like I was being so fucking stupid at that point as well, because it's like they just used the stage as a drum riser, and everybody else was on the ground.
That's what I said to him. I was just like, "Yeah, I don't think it's a stage. I think it's just for the drums." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I suppose." But yeah, we seen Eva there at that rock. That was awesome.
Goddamn, her voice. I've never heard sing play before.
Well,
but
that's specifically why I brought you there, because like you got to hear this girl sing.
like, especially in that enclosed space where you could just everything would just unreal.
It might be a while off, so we'll hit it in one of the next shows. But I did see this sounds pretty cool because she was awesome on her own. But Eva is playing a full band show. And I don't know if there's any point putting it in the gig rundown, because I don't think it's soon enough that like we're shouting out the next couple of upcoming weeks. So I think it's a little bit further away, but that's probably one for people to find out about and stick in their calendars, because I think that would be really cool to see Eva with a full band.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing like a long time ago that might be in the works, which is very cool. But yeah, I definitely want to hear that. I can't even remember, where did we go after that. I may have got a little drunk at this point. Everyone.
We jumped back and forth. I can't remember if we went to OES Center first, or did we go straight to Black Box?
No, we went to 39 Gordon Street to watch Veil.
39 Gordon Street.
That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Went to see Veil. That was awesome.
Man, that guy can move.
Very energetic.
Dude.
Great.
Dude.
His voice, again, his voice. Why the Doors came to my head as soon as I started hearing him sing, I have no idea. But he does sound like that in little snippets. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah, he's got some moves, I'll tell you that. If you go and see Veil, you're going to see some incredible dancing.
I was afraid for those little kids that were running around in front of the stage. I'm like, he's going to come off that stage at some point, and those little kids are going to get flattened.
Yeah, I mean, God bless the guy, because he didn't have a lot of room to move, because it was kind of just like a little trailer. He did fall
into the drum. He did fall into the drums.
Dude, he made it work. He made it look hot, and he made it look tasty, and I was totally into it.
Me too.
And at one point, I felt like we locked eyes, and it was kind of...
He was singing just to you.
No, it's just really... It's one thing if somebody sings to you, but you see whenever someone's dancing at you...
Oh, yeah.
And just looking at you straight in the eyes, I'm like, intense. Whoa.
Yeah,
I felt something.
I just look away. I was like,
Stu's new crush.
It might be.
Veil.
He's got the moves.
I did kind of fall in love with Veil afterwards, and then tried to find some music and couldn't find any. So
fix that one, boys.
Get on it, boys. Get some music up there that I can listen to, because I really like the songs. They're super, super catchy.
I caught those guys playing a show with Paul and Lamini as well. That was an awesome show a couple of months back. That was the first time I came across them, and yeah,
that's a good lineup. Paul and Lamini's good too.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then
we went to see the highlight of the night for me. The highlight of the night.
That room was packed.
Yeah, dude. We went
packed out.
We went to Black.
It was so packed. It was so warm.
Packed. How packed was it?
It was fucking warm.
That's
how packed it was.
Worst joke I've ever heard.
I was sweating. Anyway,
we went to see Careerist at Black Box. Damn, was that good. Oh man, it was so nice. I can't wait for the record to come out.
No, I know. It's
I
gonna be
don't think
awesome.
it's far away. Is it November? I probably should have looked up the release date because I knew we would talk about careers. But
Don't know if I'm able to get it up quick enough. If talk amongst yourselves, fellows.
for anybody that hasn't kept up with the news, careerist are hot cops. They have renamed just very recently, and they're just as good as ever. No change there.
And they thankfully too didn't drop any of the old songs, which I was
Yeah.
like, name change is like, are they gonna just like completely disregard everything? But no.
Well, that's why I quite liked in the newest music video that's actually under careerist. He's got like he's like a marathon runner and he's got like his number on him, but it's -1 for -1, and I was like, that's still a hot cop song, but
Yeah.
sure. Nice reference, nice Easter egg for all the people that want
The
to go
super fans.
Easter egg hunting in the video. But yeah, they have a record coming out quite soon, which is on Pizza Pizza Records, which is a great name for a label.
I hope it's to do with the pizza chain in Toronto.
But Mike and I used to always get from this pizza place called Pizza Pizza when we were kids.
Oh, it was so good, man. They had an arcade machine with Street Fighter 2 in it as well. Like, what more could you want?
What more could you ask for from your local pizzeria?
Rhea. Yeah, the crowd.
I was like, what am I looking for? What word is it? No, I just didn't finish the first word, apparently.
Yeah, the crowd was nuts at that as well.
I know.
It was absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then
That's why I stood off to the side. I was like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I was
Snip over
right
here.
up in it. Right up in it.
New album from Hot Cops is out November 15th.
And they're called Careerist.
Oh yeah, damn it! I knew I was gonna do that. Yeah, you can pre-order it now on Bangkok, so go do that shit.
Nice. And then we finished the night up with some Sharam at OES Center.
Also, Andy's seen a little bit of Kyoto Love Hotel.
Oh, yeah,
who he
fuck.
really liked.
Oh,
too.
you did?
Yes,
I think
I
I
did.
was waiting in line for beers.
You were waiting in line for beers,
I was.
but the first time I liked that electronical,
Pretty chill,
smooth,
like,
chill
yeah.
stuff. That was
You
good.
you went home and
Instantly
listened
went
to
on.
it? You
I
listened
was
to it
like,
after, yeah.
favorite.
Is all the
Boom. They only have
all-
2 songs on Spotify.
but the recorded tracks are
Yes.
just as
Yeah,
good.
actually,
yeah.
I seen it on your Instagram story
yeah.
like the day
It's great.
after. I'm like, that's what it's all about, people.
Exactly. So
That's what
good.
Culture Night's all about.
So good.
Yeah, I guess the one thing, and I don't want to open up a huge debate here, because can I just say before I even launch into anything like this, I am not aware of just how horribly complicated it probably is to set up Culture Night and Culture Day. I couldn't do it. I don't know what's going on. I'm not slamming the thing. I'm just kind of opening up the discussion of, it's interesting that they went from one night. It's usually just one night,
Yeah.
and they've made it into a 2-part thing
Yeah.
over night and
How
day.
does everybody else feel about that?
I'll tell you how I feel, but we want to open this up to you guys to comment on. Let us know what you thought about it if you were there at all. But did you guys get going to both day and night, or did you just go to one? Did you feel like there was less on both days? Maybe they should just put it all in one. I for one did feel it was kind of, even though on the app and on the program it seems like there was so much.
Yeah.
Whenever I was going around town during the day, because we booked the day off to go for the whole thing, we just couldn't find
It
that
was
much.
really light in the morning.
It was
Whenever-
lighter than last year, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe we were in the wrong place, for all I know. But we tried to go to some of these things, and it just
Well, that's the
seemed
thing.
quite sparse.
That's the thing, Mike. The advertisement for where things were, like you said, there was like an art thing, like just
Yeah.
hidden away.
Yeah, you need to know where some of the buildings are and stuff. It definitely doesn't help for finding things.
Yeah.
So like unless there's somebody sort of out on the street like trying to usher people in and go, oh, there's stuff coming on here. It's like there's a lot of people aren't gonna know like where certain buildings
Yeah.
are in Belfast
Sure.
and stuff.
And everybody's there for something different, which is another big thing. It's like there's a lot of kids' activities and
Yeah.
stuff. It's a day for the family. Like I was kind of mainly interested in the music scene, and I wanted to go see these local bands. But like last year, whenever we went to watch a pro wrestling. At the start of the day, that was awesome. Like there was just a wrestling ring right near the Mac in Belfast, and I was just like, "This is incredibly cool." It was really nice.
I went to the toilet that year, and there was I got into conversation with one of the wrestlers who was getting suited up in the stall beside me.
It's all about the toilet stories.
Really,
this
really
episode.
random.
The glamorous side.
I know.
And are things too spread apart? As in locations of
Yeah, like the
where things are?
distance, because I think that's the hard thing to find is like around Cathedral Quarter, it's very dense and there's a lot going on in each bar, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that's kind of far away, but I think it's just because it's like the whole of Belfast is like it's culture night and we want to do something for
Some
it.
people piggyback on.
Well,
It's
there's
not part
that
of the
too,
official
yeah.
program and stuff as well.
It's
So,
that, but they somehow still get their names on it sometimes as well, and it's just like stuff that could be really far. Like if you had to travel all the way to it, you're not gonna get back for the other stuff. It's like, you know,
you got to make that decision between being in the heart of it, where you can jump back and forth between all the cool things you want to see, or it's there's that really cool thing, but it's pretty far away, and it's gonna fuck up timings for trying to get to this or that,
Yeah.
or whatever.
I was just a little bummed out because it being over 2 days. Fair enough if there was more acts spread across it, but I felt like I missed a lot because I couldn't get to the second day.
The second day, yeah.
And everyone I talked to, like, only really seemed to be able to go to one day. It's like, I can't make it tomorrow or whatever, you know. And there were some people I wanted to meet up with, and they couldn't go the night I went, and I was kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, as you say, like, you're not bashing it at all because it is such a hard fucking thing
dude,
to
I
put
couldn't
on.
set it up. I don't have a clue how these things work. I'm sure it's very complicated, but I'm just more like,
If I was being selfish and I wanted it to be like made just specifically for me and my
yourself.
needs, you know, because that's gonna happen. I would love for them to actually just change it to the Saturday, which makes more sense in the first place.
Yeah.
You don't have to take the day off for work to go to it to get down early, and then take all the musicians that are doing shit on one day and all the musicians that are doing shit on the other day, and just fully stack the day and have shit from morning till night. And as you say, like, we're obviously going there for music because that is our interest, and there's obviously other things going on too. But from a music lover's perspective and somebody who's like massively into the local music scene, I would just love them to do that. Like, just cram it back into one day, not have to use a day of leave from work, go down on a Saturday, be there from early afternoon until the last thing at night, and just have fucking music all day long. I would love that.
that is selfish, Mike.
That is very selfish.
Because you know
but-
what? Not everybody gets weekends off. All right?
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
you know, you don't
I
have
knew
to
you were
work
gonna
on the.
say that. I
You
knew
gotta
you-
work on the Saturday. Like, Jesus. Some people have to work on the Saturday, Mike.
Yeah.
So selfish. Yeah, I mean, no, I get what you're saying. It's probably, I don't know, is it easier to get Saturdays off? It would have been easier for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yes. Yes.
Says the
that's why
person
you
who never
should
works Saturdays.
change it to that.
It's all right. Part of my organization of it would be for it to become a public holiday.
Public holiday. There you go.
See, I'm not being selfish.
Make it a
It's-
bank
yeah.
holiday,
Yeah.
culture night. Yeah, we'll leave it there. But I kind of want to know what you guys think, just to talk about it, because I'm sure they're gonna think about what to do next year. For all I know, they might be thinking about extending it to like a culture week or something. For all I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess my one thing that I would love is just like signs to stuff would be cool. Like
Oh,
I know
yeah.
where I'm going for stuff, but it's just kind of like if you could put like, I don't know, just like a big sign. It's not hard to make a sign, is it? Just
Yeah.
stick it up somewhere and say like it's this way for these people.
Yeah.
And that would be awesome. But I'll help you. I'll help make the signs. Call me up or send me an email. And I'll come make signs for culture night. I might regret that.
He needs to subsidize the music income.
I know. Right, okay, we gotta move on. We don't have much time. I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna get to the very last thing I planned to talk about in this episode, but we got one more thing to talk about here. And it's super, super important.
Is it yeah?
Oh.
Nobody knows it's yeah.
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
Still no album.
Did
There is a name. Nobody
Not as of yet, anyway.
knows it's yeah.
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
The time is
Is it on
8:15
yet?
on a Sunday, and
It's still not out.
Still not out.
Still not out. Let
He did come out with Chance the Rapper, though, and he went, Jesus is king, and then he walked off.
That's the name of the album, apparently. Let's take a trip back down memory lane, guys. On September 17th, 2018, Kanye announces that he's going to release a record called Yandy. We talked about it on a podcast over a year ago.
Yep.
It was meant to come out on the 29th of September. It didn't come out. Then Kim Kardashian tweets, it's going to come out on November 23rd, which is Black Friday. It's going to be Yandy. Trust me, it's worth the wait, guys. Followed by a lot of emojis. I don't know what she's trying to say there. Then Kanye tweets on November 12th, which is, I mean, he's, Jesus.
He's king. He's king.
apparently.
He's working.
Jesus
He's working
is
on
king.
you.
On November 12th, Kanye tweets, it felt so good being on stage last night with my brother Cuddy. After performing again, I realized the new album I've been working on isn't ready yet. I'll announce the release date once it's done. Thank you for understanding. I don't understand. February 24th, the classic Sunday service meme.
Just where the hype built up for
That's-
myself.
The hype started
Because
building.
it sounded incredible.
Kanye previews a new song called Water during his Sunday service at Coachella. We talked about that on this podcast too. That was on April 21st, 2019.
Yes.
August 29th, 2019. Kim Kardashian announces Jesus is king.
Imagine Kim Kardashian being your A&R.
Why does she have to keep announcing? That's what I don't understand. Why his wife has to keep announcing the album because Kanye won't. It's like, it's your music, man. Do it yourself. So it's meant to come out on September 27th. That was Friday just passed.
Yeah.
Did it come out? No,
Nope.
it didn't. And then heard a rumor that it was going to come out on Sunday. And then it seemed to be confirmed. I'm pretty sure, God, was it Kim Kardashian again said it was going to come out on Sunday?
Somebody.
Who knows? Somebody said it's coming out on Sunday. And I was like, makes sense because all the Sunday service stuff.
Yeah.
It's Sunday now. And I've been checking all day for this
Nothing.
shit. And it's still not there.
Nothing.
Wouldn't it be great if it just popped up right now?
I checking on Spotify.
Refresh,
Is it there?
refresh.
And then
I'm gonna check it right now. Wait, we're going on Spotify, and if it's here, then I'll eat my hat.
and then today it was announced that he's doing a documentary,
Yes,
To-
there's a film to accompany it.
which is supposedly out on the 25th of October.
Yeah, that's what worried me when I seen
Because
that.
is that when the album's coming out?
Is that when the movie's coming out? Who
Is that
knows?
when the movie-
25th of October next year. It seems
Oh
close
God,
enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is
So
it? Is it?
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
no, it's not there.
Oh.
Well, that does it for this segment of Yay or Nay.
See, this is where I start losing interest because it's just back to the bullshit again.
It's just constant hype with the man.
It's like, are you using whatever it is you're using just to keep you in the loop, like in the news and stuff? Like, are you just using this whole?
I don't think he does it on purpose.
I think sometimes he does, but he's also just mental. He's just a crazy boy. And he doesn't know what he should be doing. But I don't know. We'll see. You know what the most recent thing? There was meant to be a leak from it where I think there was leaked artwork for the film, and then the guy that leaked it said that he had spoken to Kanye, and Kanye says he will no longer make secular music.
That's right. I heard that.
So he will only be making religious albums from now on. So we all got that to look forward to. That does it for Yay or Nay, and today was a Nay.
Is it yay or is it nay? Nobody knows it's yay.
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
Anyway, we actually spent a lot of time at the start of the podcast talking about like
Yeah,
the Blink-182 album.
That a bit more.
It's fine. I think on the next episode we're going to talk about Winona Bleach having wrapped recording in Portugal, because I want to spend a lot of time on that, and
cool.
I don't want to rush it into the end of this.
Can I do a quick new segment? Something along the lines of Old Man Shouts at Cloud sort of thing.
New segment.
Just whenever you flicked up Spotify there, I just want to actually, this is something I wanted to talk to you about off air anyways, but it may be a long conversation for next time, but we'll try and keep it as short as possible.
Impossible.
Apps, they keep fucking updating them and they keep changing how that you're meant to use them. Have you found in your new Spotify that you can't do certain things that you would want to do now? That some fucking programmer has just sat down and went, this is how I listen to music, so therefore everybody else should fucking listen to music the same way that I do.
Yeah, I don't like it. I got used to it the old way. I'm starting to get used to it now, but I really don't like the new layout.
What is the liked songs thing for?
Like,
Liked songs. There's a playlist called Like Songs,
Yeah.
and it's apparently meant to be everything that you've saved to your library.
Yeah,
but
it
there's
is.
about it's not for me. I don't know if stuff got lost in the update and everything didn't come across. There's about 4,000 songs in it.
Well, it's not like a...
So two things that I've lost the ability to do now, which you shouldn't be able to do in any friggin' music app. I can't shuffle all of my music that I've saved in my library because there is no songs selection the way there was before. You can't go into songs, which gives you all your music, and then hit shuffle. I can't do that. Now, if everything transferred to liked songs, which is what I read it's supposed to be, anything that you hit the save button on is meant to go into like songs, then I could shuffle that and it would shuffle all my music, but all my songs aren't in there.
Damn, you only have
So-
800 liked songs?
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't like songs that often. I add stuff to playlists, and you can save them and stuff, but like, say I go into a song, like some Sandy Alex G,
Yeah.
and I go in and
Yeah, there's a
open
heart
it up
thing.
here, you just hit the
Yeah,
heart,
I
and
understand
then it goes into liked.
that's what that is, right? So,
But I have a bunch of songs in my playlist that are not liked songs.
yes. But do you ever just go in and go, everything that I've ever saved, I want to
Never.
just shuffle it?
Never.
Well, that's okay.
Yes.
Because you're obviously the fucking guy that's programmed this. Because he's like, I don't ever do that. Nobody else ever needs to do that either.
I
Screw
do.
you guys.
I do go into liked songs and do shuffle, just so I have a big variety of...
Never, no.
Yeah. One, I've lost the ability to shuffle all my songs. I fucking hate you, Spotify. Two, you,
You need to stop banging this desk.
I'm sorry, I'm getting passionate.
If anyone's wondering what this is in the audio podcast, just Mike's been slamming the desk. So if you keep hearing a big bop in your ears, it's because of his anger.
It's all right. They'll feel the passion through the microphone. The other thing that I've lost the ability to do, I can't add a whole album to a playlist anymore.
Because then you have to go in and like all songs.
Yeah, well, and then it adds it to your like songs,
Yeah.
but it doesn't add it. You can't just go to the wee ellipsis
Yeah.
on an album
And
and,
just like-
go
yeah.
add to playlist.
I've
So I
never done that either.
Have you?
Stu has programmed the new Spotify update. It's him. It is actually him.
Who's adding whole albums to play?
Because I have a playlist called
Albums?
like heavy rotation or whatever, which I would throw new albums into. It's like I want to listen to new albums, but I don't want to just listen to the one new album over and over again. So every once in a while, whenever I want to freshen what I'm listening to, I'll drop a shitload of new albums into that one particular playlist to listen. I can't do that anymore.
Oh,
Why?
I just hit the heart on the album. I don't do any of that. I just
Yeah,
literally
just
go.
listen
So-
to the album.
Yeah.
and-
So the heart though then puts it into liked songs. Yeah.
Yeah, but
which
not
is-
all the time, because sometimes I'm
See,
telling you.
my
Mike wants
point.
to listen
my
to
point
stuff
is
in a very
explain-
specific way that
I don't think it's that big a deal. If I want to be able to put an album into a playlist,
Yeah.
I should be able to do it. If I want to be able to shuffle all the songs that I've ever put into a library, I should be able to do it. That is my point.
Because I know
It's like
that-
why has somebody sat and taken these things out and they've just went, oh, I don't listen to music that way. It's Stu.
because
I
I
don't
know
listen to it that way. Nobody else needs those features because I don't listen to it that
because
way.
I know there's loads. Like I've liked God knows how many albums, but on one, like just say on my PlayStation it says 11,000 songs liked, but on my computer I've got loads more. For some reason,
yeah.
there's a misconnect somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't get that either, but it's because I use my Spotify. I have playlists that are the Grand Theft Auto radio stations.
Yeah.
So I have like V-Rock for all my classic rock songs. So any classic rock song that I like, I add to the V-Rock playlist. And if there's a hip hop song I like, I add it to Wild Style FM. I do it all based on
too much effort.
fictional radio stations.
Yeah,
It works really well.
I do have I don't have GTA.
Well, Spotify didn't invent this for me. This is just how I use it. Let's work like that. Sorry, our screensaver just came on and we were worried everything just broke.
Yeah, no, I do. I'll not keep going on here
I
because it
know,
could turn into a big
Jesus.
long thing. But yeah, no, I do have like more curated playlists as well, where you're actually putting like stuff into certain themes or whatever. But then I have like one like just big bucket playlist that I use to drop new stuff into. It's like if I want something on repeat in the car, that's like all kind of new stuff that's been out, that I can just drop stuff into a playlist that way.
3 different people, 3 different ways of using Spotify.
Yeah, so give us more options, don't give us less.
We're all individuals, folks. You just want, so you want to be able.
You want to shuffle whole albums?
No, he doesn't want to shuffle them. So he wants to have, say there's like a couple of new records out, right? So he's going to pop them all in there. Like at the minute, there's the new Blink album. He's going to pop that over.
Right.
Then there's the new Sandy Alex G album. Then he's going to add that in as well so that he can play them and he doesn't have to go out of the playlist and keep going into other.
Because I can't do that when I'm driving.
Oh,
it's
you
like
see,
I
just do that anyway. That's why I'm not safe. I took all my security stuff off my phone so that I can easily tap the screen.
I tell you, it's the evidence is adding up. I think you've coded the new Spotify.
You must drive a lot farther than me too, because I only get the chance for like maybe one album.
I do drive a lot, and that's where I listen to most of my music.
See, yeah, that's probably the difference. I only get time for like one record on the way.
Well, I'm bound to not be the only person. Like everybody listens to the music in different ways, and I just don't understand why it did it before and now it doesn't do it anymore.
Let us know.
Spotify,
Anybody listening?
fucking get your shit together.
They're gonna take our podcast down off Spotify.
Oh no! Why are you slamming the
Ripping it.
I love
distributor?
Spotify anyway.
We love it.
Yeah, it's the greatest.
Never
thing.
mind. Shut up. Yo, we got a couple of things to shout out. Very first one I want to say is that our Distant Sound Waves playlist is back, which is the companion playlist to this podcast. Search Your Spaceship Distant Sound Waves. You can find all the links on our Facebook page, the Your Spaceship Facebook page. Search for that, and I'm sure you'll find the link to it. There is so many good songs on it. I cannot stress that enough. I just had a blast putting this thing together, man. Like, oh god, I'm not exaggerating. It was actually so good.
It was really good.
And the playlist is really good to listen to. There's a mix of, indie bands locally for us, people from the States, across the whole fucking globe. We get it all mixed there together. We try and do on this playlist what we do on this show, which is try and make an equal amount of, locally based talent and information mixed with international artists, world events, and just entertainment in general. So we just want a playlist that flows well and sounds good to you, and you're not going to care about where they're from. Just listen to it. If it's good, go check out the artists and follow them on Spotify and find them on Facebook. Go to their shows if you can. That's the whole idea. We change it every month, so get on it now, check out what's on it, and make sure to follow the playlist. I believe we got some shows. Mike's going to take you to those.
Right. First one isn't actually a music show, but it's kind of cool. Spooky season's upon us. On the 2nd of October here, Music Centre are doing a screening of Donnie Darko, so that would kind of be a pretty cool thing.
Love that movie. Yeah. One of my favorite movies.
Get in the mood.
Yeah, the next episode we got to remember to get spooky sounds.
Oh,
on the
yeah.
soundboard.
Load up the soundboard with
I don't have any spooky sounds right now.
That's all right. I'll find some.
It's all right.
That's all right.
We only got this.
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
Still relevant.
Just add the thunder. To it.
I know. I tried not to hit the thunder because I thought it sounded horrible in my ears after last episode. I'm like, I'm not using that thunder button no more.
3rd of October, the Scarlet Cavaliers, Sit Tight, Cloakroom Q, and Pandora Ills are playing in the Empire. On the 4th of October, the Fugues are playing at the Goat's Toe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a particularly expensive gig, is it? Stu's just realized he hasn't used the soundboard for most of the...
I don't know what to do whenever you're reading the gigs.
Yeah,
It's kind of just like, here's a gig, and then here's a gig.
Here's a
like,
gig you might have heard about.
Should I be saying something in between these? So I just hit buttons. Sorry.
Yeah, you say something in between so that I can find the next gig, and professionally pad for me so I don't sound like I'm
Just
flailing.
hum. Just do a Kid Cudi hum.
October 4th, Search Party. And this is an album launch, so Too Much Red Tape is the name of their new album, and they're playing in Voodoo Belfast.
Search party. Sorry, what I'm doing is I'm actually
Taking a wee note.
I'm writing them down and sort of saying them back to you like someone that's making a list of gigs.
Which is what the listeners should be doing.
Search
Yeah,
party. Red tape. Red what?
Hold on, let me to go back.
Spell
to
it.
my- Too Much
Can
Red
you spell
Tape.
it? Can you spell it for me?
T double O
O
much.
How do you spell that?
UCH
MUCH.
red.
Red. Got that one.
ED. Oh, you good?
Yeah.
Tip. Do you know Tip?
T A P. I got it.
Okay. October 11th, Lazy Day and Careerist are playing at McHugh's.
Lazy Day and Careerist.
That's going to be a good one.
That's the band we talked about earlier, and I really like them.
It's probably bound to be packed again, so get on that one early.
Hey, you know what's funny is Mike and I, when we were at Culture Night, we walked past a guy, and we just heard what me and my wife lovingly refer to as Grand Theft Auto conversations. Funnily, speaking of GTA, you know, whenever you're playing a GTA game and you walk past someone and you just get a snippet of their conversation. So whenever that happens in real life, that's GTA conversation. But we heard one guy go like, "Careerist are the hottest band in Belfast," and I thought that was real funny.
I think I heard that. Yeah. That was good.
I was like, damn, they only just changed their name.
October 11th, Queen Bonobo is playing with special guests, and that is in Bennigan's Bar. I don't know if it definitely is the last time, but it's kind of being billed as maybe the last time she'll be playing in a while.
Hi, Combs.
I don't know. I'm going to read the description here. She does move about a lot, so I don't know if maybe she's moving or something again.
I don't know. Well, I mean, get on it if you want to check her out. We actually reviewed one of her records, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We
Yeah.
did. It's up on the site.
Sorry, your silence made
Did
me
we
think
do
we
it?
didn't. Well, it wasn't me. Mike did.
Was I dreaming?
Well, this is basically the description of it, so I can't pretend to know any of the ins and outs of it. Maybe she's not moving. I shouldn't have said that because I don't know. But it says Queen Bonobo plays at Bennigan's for the 100th time, very possibly the last, but probably not. There will be,
That's just hype. That's hype train.
yeah, you never know.
But who knows?
But yeah, we recommend checking her out. Anyway, she played. It wasn't Culture Night. It was Output Belfast. Was the first time me and G had went and seen her,
Yeah.
and it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Well, I listened to the record after you'd reviewed it, and I sort of read through, and I was like, "Oh, this sounds like something I would like." And then
Yeah.
it's so jazzy. It's
Yeah.
like everything's so jazz infused. It's all smooth. I like it.
It was pretty cool. I think one more. Oh, sorry for the
Nice.
beep.
That's
An extra wee sound effect on the soundboard there.
oh shit.
19th of October, Robo Cobra Quartet are back playing in Belfast again at the Ulster Sports Club, which seems to be like a hot new venue.
Yeah, it seems like
There's
they're
loads of people
getting some
playing.
shows now.
Yeah.
Are Sharon playing there or something?
Yes, they are. It's in November, so we'll shout it up. And
we'll get to that one. It's just not soon enough. But yeah, I noticed that. I was like, why are there so many shows that
It's
they
the place to be now.
apparently so the Ulster Rugby Sports Hall.
Yeah.
Get down.
That's all I got.
That's all you got, man.
That's all
That's
I
all you got. Andy, anybody or anything you want to shout out this episode?
Yeah, mine's going to be short as usual. But Leo Miyagi's new EP, Inner City Blues, out on the 4th of October. Boom. And Dana and Nux's video for Shine
Seen it.
is out as well. Good
Yep.
song, right?
Seen it is a good song, actually.
Sick. And also, just something on a mainstream level. If anybody didn't and wants to catch, I don't know, your opinions on the Gallagher brothers. But his unplugged set from the Hull City Hall was unreal, and some say biblical. That was him that said that.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
But if you like your unplugged and the Gallagher brother Liam, then go watch that. That was pretty cool. That is all for myself.
I haven't seen
It's
that
really
yet.
it's really well shot.
I still have to actually listen to the new record. I haven't
And
checked it out.
I listened to the new one yesterday. Listened to the old one also yesterday because I haven't been paying attention to him for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, his voice is rock and roll to the.
Takes you back, man.
Oh.
Takes you back to the 90s and stuff,
Jeez.
boys. He could sing anything and it'll be like, it feels like I'm
And live, he's just
I'm in 1998 again. I just recently, well, it wasn't me. I did a collab with a pal of mine called Fury.
I heard that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, what do you think? I
listened
know
to
it
it.
sounds phony, you guys. What do you think about
No.
it? You
I
can,
love
you can
it.
blast me on air.
No, I freaking love it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
It was
you.
really cool.
Yeah, it was kind of, it's,
I think you're sorry to cut you off.
no,
I think with your style of music, you should be on more electronical things like that because I think the way you do music and Fury's music goes well
Melds
together.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I actually have. This is kind of the first in a few features that I have coming out, but I'm not gonna because I'm not in control of them. It's
Yeah,
not.
it's not
It's
for
not
you
my
to say.
material.
You're the
so
J. Cole of.
Nobody gets to feature on my record, but I feature on your records. But yeah, my pal Fury, he just released a new EP and it's called Grateful for Insomnia. I'm on that record on a song called River Styx that we co-wrote together, and I'm actually really happy with it. I'm really proud of it. It's super different for what I'm used to in making music, and it was cool to work with Aiden on that and do something a little bit different. So yeah, I highly recommend you go and check out the entire EP and listen to songs.
Isn't
Let me
Ash
know
on
what you think?
one of the songs?
Ash
Oh,
Hamilton.
it's such a
Yeah.
great,
That's a
three
good
track.
song.
Ash
EP.
Hamilton, God, he's in so many bands. Best known for drummer of Moz
he's
Most
not in.
Strange. Yeah, he does a track as well. The first one, Last of the Wild Things. Yeah, super cool EP, and that's my shout out for this episode. Is go and check that out. And let me know what you think. Hit me up.
Before you finish your shout out as well, just because I went straight from gig rundown into everybody else's shout out, can I just very quick mention the American Guinea Pig guys have a small EP out called Nothing Hurts Me More.
Oh,
Just wanted to
okay.
give those boys a little shout out as well if people want to.
I didn't actually know that.
Listen.
I will listen to it after this because I didn't know they had anything out. I probably need to follow them on Spotify. I'm going to do it right now.
But will it turn up anywhere on Spotify? That is the question.
Oh no, it should be. They have like one of those smart URLs, so I think they were whoever they're distributing.
No, as in
through.
like if you liked it, your issue. Where's it gonna go?
Yeah.
Nobody
add
knows.
it to your like songs playlist. So that
Oh,
you
I was
can-
like way off. So you were making like a Spotify.
I was making a very.
Yeah.
I thought you were making a Kanye reference to be
I was
like,
making a
oh, if you
callback.
like it, will it even be there?
No, I was making a callback.
There they are. And I'm gonna
American Guinea Pig.
follow them. They moved the follow button as well. They moved the follow button. Oh, that was crickets.
There you
That's
go.
your follow, American Guinea Pig. Yeah, well, that's it for this episode of Six Bro. We will be back in 2 more weeks. Yes, two
Yes,
weeks.
2
Yeah.
weeks.
It's
Yeah.
every other week. Okay, I get confused whenever I try and explain this.
It's gonna make more sense once we start
will.
getting guests back onto the show as well. It's gonna
Basic-
give us time.
We need time to edit the video episodes. It was a lot of work before, so that's why we're taking the week break. It felt very strange not doing one last
Correct.
week, but
Yeah.
we will appreciate that whenever we're trying to edit video episodes, which there will be the old one that I spoke about before coming out very soon because I had to get into all that again. So you will be seeing a video episode very soon. But thank you for listening. Please comment below. Follow the podcast on Spotify. Check out the Distant Sound Waves playlist. And just hop on over to Your Spaceship on Facebook and see what all we have going on there. Lots of cool stuff.
We also have a group on Facebook too, Cosmonauts of the Spaceship. If you want to get involved in that too, it's just kind of like a way for musicians to network and stuff. There's obviously a lot of groups out there like that, but
It's the inner circle. It's if you got something to tell us that you want on the podcast, that's probably the best way to tell us to cut through the noise.
Yeah, basically
sometimes.
the Facebook algorithm will always kill stuff, but if you're a part of a group and you're posting stuff in there, it means more likely we'll actually get to see it.
Exactly. So come on over, join us at Cosmonauts of the Spaceship, and we will see you in a couple of weeks, folks.
And remember, the girl isn't cute, it's just a filter.
Brutal. Brutal. Dude. I didn't say it, folks.
Cancelled.
I didn't say it, folks. What? What the
What the fuck?
was that? Kanye?
Andy?